Hello. Tonight's feature video is surface area of rectangular prisms and cylinders. Find the surface area of each figure. Round answers to the nearest hundredth if necessary. So you have this is a half sheet. You have 4 problems, 2 rectangular prisms and 2 cylinders, and we are finding the surface area. Now, most of us went over at least number 1, if not a couple others today in class. This was homework Monday night, although you guys came in today, Tuesday, with some extra questions, not really sure how to do things. So I think we worked out most problems during class. But just in case, I said I'd make a video for you. So here we go. Again, I'm going to do this like I've done the other videos. I'll set it up for you, but you guys need to do the math on your own. There are 2 ways to solve rectangular prisms. You can find the area of each surface and then just add them all up, or you can use the formula. So for number 1, I want to show you how we can find the area of each surface. Now remember, a rectangular prism, the bottom and the top piece are congruent, meaning they're the same measurements. The left side and the right side are the same, and then the back and the front are the same. So what you would do is you could highlight or whatever you need. Let me try using a line. It might be a little straighter here. So if we, let's see, make a line here, and this is just to highlight this bottom piece, okay? You see this bottom piece here? So this bottom piece is going to be a 10 by 8. So my length is 10, and my 8 is going to be my width. So the bottom is a 10 by 8. And 10 times 8 is 80. So if my bottom area is 80, then we know my top area also has to be 80. So I would add 2 80s together, the bottom and the top piece. Now if I look at my sides, I have my left side is right here. See that side piece? And the right side is over here. And they're the same measures. But this time, we're going to be using the same 8, right? Because that's down here. And we're going to use our 3 because that's our height. And that's what makes this a 3-dimensional figure, is this height piece. So to find the area of the side, I'm going to say 8 times 3, or width times height. 8 times 3 is 24, so I would have 2 24 pieces. Right? 2 24s. And you add those together. And then finally, I would have my front and my back piece. So I'll highlight the back piece just so the lines don't get too confusing. See this back piece back here? Now remember, the back piece and then this front piece are going to be the same. And we are going to have, again, the 10 here is my length. And then I need my 3 for my height. So this piece right here, which is the back, is going to be a 10 by 3. Okay? And 10 times 3 is 30. So I would have 2. I would have my back 30, and then the front side is also 30. And then you can add up those 3 answers, and that will give you your surface area. So 80 plus 80, 24 plus 24, 30 plus 30. Take the sum of those 3 answers, and that's your surface area. Now you can also use a formula. So the formula for surface area is on your formula sheet, and it is right next to a picture of a rectangular prism. And your formula is 2 times the length times the width. And if you notice, that's what we did right here, right? We said 10 times 8, our length and width. And we have two of them. So rather than saying 80 plus 80, we would just say 2 times 80, right? Then we would add that with 2 times our width times our height. And you see we did that right here with the 24s because we have our width is 8 and our height is 3. And then finally, we have 2 times our length times our height. And we did that at the end when we set our length, which was 10, times our height, which is 3, and we got our 30, and we have 2 of those. So you can simply label and then plug and chug, or you can do it piece by piece. Either way, I'm good. All right, let's look at, let's go ahead and do number 3. I'm going to skip straight down to number 3 because that's also a rectangular prism. Hopefully you'll remember from today's discussion that if all the sides are the same, this is actually what they call a cube. It is a rectangular prism, it's just special. Just like a square is a rectangle, just with all the sides the same. So honestly, it doesn't matter what you label, the length, the width, or the height. I'm going to label this as going to be my length. This is going to be my width. And this is going to be my height. And this time I'm going to use my formula. So I'm going to say 2 times my length times my width. This goes a little slower trying to use this mouse as a pen. Then 2 times my width and my height, which because it's a cube, all these numbers are going to be the same, plus 2 times my length and my height. Again, same number, same thing. Remember, order of operations, you have to multiply everything separately. So you're going to have 3 blanks that you're going to fill in. So 2 times 6 times 6 goes there, 2 times 6 times 6 goes there, and 2 times 6 times 6 goes there. Hopefully you understand that if you do it once, you can just fill it in since they're all the same numbers. Once you have that, you add them all together, and that will give you your surface area. Okay? All right, let's go on to our cylinders. So for a cylinder, I'm going to write the formula for you. The formula for surface area of a cylinder. Remember, we have to find the lateral rectangle. So we need how far around is this circle. We need our circumference, which is 2 times pi times r, right? That's circumference. And then we need to multiply it by our height. That'll tell us how far around this cylinder is. We also need to add that to the area of our 2 bases. So this big 2 here comes from the fact that we have a circle at the top and a circle at the bottom. And then the area for a circle is simply pi r squared. So all of these formulas you know separately. When it comes to a 3D shape, we got to put them all together. Okay, so let's go ahead and label everything. This is the same thing that we did with the composite figures. The first thing you have to do after you figure out your shape and your formula is find your labels. So 8 is going to be the height of this cylinder. Now because the line goes all the way across, this 6 is for the whole thing, which is our diameter. We don't want that in our formula. We want our radius. So we're going to split this in half to get our radius. And so half of 6 is 3. And now I'm going to change colors. I'm going to do my work out here. It is helpful if you do your work on the back of the sheet or on a separate sheet and staple it because it does get a little messy. So let's pick yellow because I can work out here. So I'm going to, for my surface area, I'm going to have first again, the lateral rectangle, this middle piece, 2 times pi, and always use 3.14, times my radius, which we figured out was 3, times my height, which is 8. And I'm going to add that to the two areas of the bases. So 2 times pi again, times my radius squared. So remember, radius squared is different than saying 2 times the radius. Be careful with that. 2 times 3 is different than 3 squared. So you're going to put all this together here, plus, and remember, do this first. Okay, so do this little piece. I'll do it for you, is 9. Now 2 times 3.14 times 9. Don't say 2 times 3.14 times 3 squared, because that will get you a much different answer. Make sure you do your order of operations correctly. Once you have these two numbers, you add them together. Oh, there we go. A confused little arrow there. And that will get you your surface area. Okay? So you come right over here, and that'll be your surface area. But make sure you write this all down. Alright, finally we'll go to number 4 here. Again, we're doing the same thing. We're finding surface area, so we can use this formula up top. Let's label. We have 12 as our height. And please remember, they can turn cylinders on their side. They can make them crooked, kind of like they did the cube. It doesn't have to be this perfect cylinder. Just make sure that the line that's on the side here, not the circle, but the line on the side, is your height. And then nice enough for us, they already just gave us the half, so we know that 8 is going to be our radius. Alright, so again, I'm going to come over here and do all my work. This time, let's see, I'll use, I wonder if green will show up. Let's try green. So we'll do surface area. Oh, that's nice. And we're going to have 2 times 3.14. Kind of like that better than the yellow. What do y'all think? Times my radius, which is 8 in this case, times 12, which is my height, plus, and now I'm going to do the area of the two circles. So I have 2 times 3.14 times 8 squared. And again, you want to do the 8 squared part first, which is 64. 64 is looking small. Okay, so you multiply all those numbers together straight across and hit equals after the 12. So 2 times 3.14 times 8 times 12 equals, and then write that number down on that crooked line. And then clear out your calculator and then do this piece. 2 times 3.14 times, and we did the 64 first, so times 64 and hit equals. Once you have those two numbers written down, you're going to add them together, and that will give you your surface area for number 4. So we're going to get some more complicated shapes this week, but the key for you to understand is that they're formulas, and it really is a plug and chug. You can break it down into smaller pieces if that's easier for you. It's a little bit, I think it's a little bit more work doing it this way, but if this makes sense and you get the right answer, do that. If you like the formula way, I'm okay with that too. Either way, please make sure you show me work. If you have any questions, just holler. Thanks, guys.